your certificate. This is how you earn your certificate. The attendance takes 50%, while your participation in this project and the hackathon also caters for the other 50%. So the two allows you, or let me say, earns you your certificate of completion for this training. And if you are the type that you feel you can actually take all the hackathons and the project participation, I mean, you want to participate in the hackathon and at the same time participate in the project participation. Why not? If you feel you have the capacity, it's always a good thing to keep learning, like I do say. Knowledge is vast, so it's always good to keep learning. Keep widening your knowledge base. Yes, keep widening your knowledge base. And just to also point it out that um the AI bootcamp is coming, and like I do say, the journey has started with these free AI classes. So we need to prepare. We need to actually take this particular projects and hackathons serious, because this will lead you, I mean, this will let you have a feel of what the AI bootcamp qualification hackathon and project participation will also look like. So apart from the fact that you even want to earn your certificate here, this is a good time to prepare for the upcoming AI bootcamp. Yes, AI bootcamp is always massive, and I hope to see everyone present at the DSN AI bootcamp, which will be happening later in the year. Good morning, Grace. Yes, good morning, everyone. This is the day three of the free eye classes in every city. Cohort 5. We started since cohort 1, and this is cohort 5. So on the first day, we introduced everybody to what we call the Power Platform 2. We got started with the Power Platform 2, where we explain in details what are the five Power Platform tools. And like I asked yesterday, that there is a particular tool which is not showing on my screen right now, and everybody almost got the answer right. I mean, everybody got the answer right. So there's a particular tool which is not on my screen right now, which is the Power Page. And I also made mention that the Power Virtual Agent has evolved over the years. It's now called the Copilot, and Copilot is now embedded into all the Power Platform tools. So I'm doing this recap because of the people that are just joining us for the first time in this class. So this is the app development with Power Apps. If you are an individual that is very passionate about building bespoke app that can help you to automate your manual routine. I mean, people that have been in this class for from day one can actually attest to the fact that they've been learning a lot, and they found the class really interesting. And today again, we're also going to be teaching each other, because even me myself, when I come to class like this, I learn new things. So we're going to be teaching each other new things today. So, moving on very quickly, this is what we did in the one. We also talked about data sources, and I told us that data is the new oil because data is everywhere. Yeah, data is everywhere, and for you to be able to access your Power Platform, you need your data sources. If you go on Power BI today, you are going to see that by the time you want to start working, there will be a need for you to connect to a data source. And so all those data sources is available for all the Power Platform. To talk of Power Virtual Agent, talk of your Power BI, talk of your Power Page, there will be a need for you to always link your tool to a data source. So these are the available data sources. We even have more than this. Talk of the Microsoft Dataverse, the SharePoint list, the Excel. We've been playing around with SharePoint list for a while. I mean, we've been playing around with SharePoint list in the past few days. And yesterday we created our first app. Yes, we created our first app. If you're excited about yesterday's class, if you learned a lot about creating your first app, let me see your excitement in the chat. Let me see your excitement in the chat if you were excited about the app we created. And can somebody also tell me which app did we create yesterday? What is the name of the app? Oluwatomi is excited. Oluwatomi is excited. Which app did we create yesterday? Let me see who was in the class yesterday and who can still remember. Monday is excited. Kolumi is excited. Attendance. Somebody said attendance. Yes. But I want you to say the name in full. Prayer classes attendance app. Thank you so much, Linda. Linda got it correctly. So adults just said attendance, even though you are right, but Linda got it correctly. So it is the free high classes attendance app. The app allows you as a student to be able to feel that, oh, you're actually present in the class. Yeah, thank you so much. Belumi said free high training. Oh, even Belumi is adding training to the attendance form, which is actually correct. Yes, yes, yes. So we created a free high class training attendance from yesterday such that you can fill your attendance in the class, and then all the details goes into the SharePoint. And we also talked about the business requirement and application logics yesterday. So I'm doing all this quick recap to bring everybody who was not in the class yesterday to speed. So we talked about business requirement and we discussed extensively on what business requirement is and what application logics is. I told you that business requirement is like the framework of what you want to do, or let me say the idea, the blueprint. So I also mentioned some job titles, I mean some job roles as a Power Platform developer yesterday. I talked about the fact that you as a Power Platform developer, you can be employed to work in a company full time, or you can even be a consultant that people will reach out to that, oh, we want to build a business app. How do we be about it? So this is something that you need to take serious. This is a skill that is selling out there. Big companies that do a lot manually are now finding ways to automate what they do. And it's your own job as an app developer, as an automation expert to help them out. Talk of, oh, you have a large training that you want to do and you don't want to be sending attendance links like almost every time. Just share an application with people where they can see, oh, this is day one, this is day two, they can fill their name, they can fill it by themselves, and you won't need to be sharing attendance link like almost every time. Or you want to create maybe a certificate generator, or you want to create an inventory app. So the Power Platform developer is a skill. I mean, it's a job title that is actually out there that people are keen into. So yeah, so you can work as a consultant, or you can work in a company. So I talked about the business requirement and the application logic. I said, as an app developer, there's a need for you to always request for the business requirement, because this is what will guide you to be able to build what you want to build. Because there are situations where a client will reach out to you, they will just say, "Oh, want to build an app that looks like Jumia app," and you also think they want to build something like Jumia, and you start building something that looks like Jumia app, like an e-commerce app. And then at the end, when you are done and you are trying to demo the app, they will now tell you, no, this is not what we really need. What we want to build is an app that can just do an inventory. And you'll be wondering, where did we all go wrong? And nobody actually went wrong. It was just that there was a miscommunication, basically. So there's a need for you to always ask for what we call the business requirements. And I showed us this as an example of a business requirement. So there's a need for you to have all this color, and the client will provide all the details. So the client may not be able to provide the testing component or the platform. You as the app developer, as an app developer, will work with them to give them what will work for the testing component and the platform. But for the requirement, the user side and then the mandatory or the optional side, the client must provide this for you so that everybody is aligned. And then at the end of the whole thing, everybody is happy because you have delivered. And then we talked about the application logic. So application logic bridges your UI and the UX. UX is the user experience, while the UI is the user interface. So there's a need for us to uh, combine the two together. So that's what we call the application logic. Application logic is that, oh, I want to actually build an inventory app. Then how do I build it? I want to build an attendance form. How do I go about it? So that's what we call the application logic. It's just like an idea be brought into life. Yes. So how do you bring the idea into life? That's what we call the application logic. And today is the day three. Are we excited? Are we excited? Today is the day three that we're going to be creating a custom canvas app, and custom in the sense that we're going to be using a SharePoint list, but we're not going to be automatically generating our app. We're going to be building our app by ourselves. We're going to customize it, add our buttons, add the color, add everything that we feel needs to be on the app. So if you're excited for today's class, let me see your yes in the chat. Let me see your yes in the chat. Let me see your excitement in the chat. Let me see your excitement in the chat. And today we're also going to be discussing extensively on formulas. Blessed is happy. Yes, everybody's saying yes. Oluwatomi is saying yes. Linda is saying yes. Bedroom is saying good. Blessed said it's sweet me. Lenovo said yes. Welcome, Lenovo. I've been looking for you. Yeah, Lenovo is also one of our frequent learner. Lenovo has been present since day one. Yeah, so everybody's excited. So today we're talking about formulas because yeah, so when we're talking about Power Platform tools, we talk about formulas, and it's not even like we talk about formula. We call this thing a low code. And what do we mean by low code? Low code means that even though it is drag and drop, you are still going to write few code, but not like you'll be writing a Python code or you'll be writing a JavaScript code or you'll be writing a Java code. You are just going to be writing, maybe one plus one, or you'll be writing something in text. So that's why we call it a low code, and that's why we also call it formulas because it allows you to be able to do what you want to do. So we'll be talking about formulas, and formulas are actually reusable logic. I mean, you can always copy it, you can always reuse them while creating your app. So we'll call them formulas, and we are going to be discussing extensively on formula before we now create an application that we're going to be building today. And let me hint you on the app that we're going to be creating today. We're going to be creating an HR, so we're going to be creating an app that can be used in the HR department. I'm calling it a leave tracker app. Yeah, in a company, people take leaves. They want to go on vacation. Some people take sick leave. Some people take leave for any reason. So we're going to be building an application that an HR can use to track leave requests. So that's the app that we're going to be creating. And this app might take us few days. I mean, looking at the time, let's see what we can do. If we can be able to cover all the screens that we need, all the features, so that we'll know that yes, we actually did our best. But if we're not able to cover everything today, then tomorrow is another good day to continue. So tomorrow is another day to continue. But so we'll start already now and let's see where we can get to. Yeah, so I'll stop sharing the screen and I'll bring up another screen very quickly. It's you. Where's the screen? Let me see if I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, yes, so I'm bringing this up again just to let us know that we've been following this particular learning track. I mean, this learning course actually. So the thing, like I do say with Microsoft is, Microsoft will create a service or will create a tool today, but they will be so good also to share the learning resource with you. There's something we call Microsoft Learn. Now, Microsoft Learn is where you get to know everything about Microsoft services or tools. So we've been following this particular learn resources, which is for Power Hub and Power Platform. Like I told you, we may need to make an adaptation. So my colleague will be sharing this particular link. So if you have the time that like learning ahead of the class, why not? Why not? You can always go on this learn resources and play around with it. So we're going to be following these learn resources keenly, but we're also going to be making some adaptations. So you can see now that in the day one, they talked about the formulas, but today is day three now, and we are talking about the formula. We couldn't have talked about formula before we even create a SharePoint list from because before we generate our app automatically. So that's why we're bringing the formulas to day three so that we can be familiar with the apps first, and then we'll discuss about formula. So my colleague will be sharing the link to the resources, and then I'll also be sharing these resources in the chat now to the formulas. So I'll also share the second one. So I'll go over quickly through this formula, then we move into the business of the day. I mean to create the app that I want to create today. So these are formulas. We have a lot of them actually, a lot of them. And on this particular, for this particular link, you will see that the formulas are also categorized alphabetically order so that you can quickly get to see the formula. We have the absolute, we have the equals, we have the... So for the formulas actually, they are a combination of text and numbers. So sometimes you may actually have numbers in your formula, and sometimes you have text. So we have the boolean, we have the calendar to retrieve information about the calendar, we have the character, we have the choices, we have the clear collect, we have the clear data, we have the clock. So all those things, by the time you keep learning, you get to use each of the formulas. You get to use each of the formula. You get to use each of. So I'm just going to be going over it. We have the date for you to work to play around with your date. We have your date value. We have your default. You remember we used default yesterday. Can somebody remind me what we used default for? I used default yesterday. Let me see in the chat who remembers and what I used default for. Oh, the answer is even here. So I expect people to get this correctly. Let me see if there's any answer in the chat. Let's see if there's any answer in the chat. What did I use default for? Anyone? So we have the errors, we have the exit, we have the filter, we have the find, we have the first, we have the for all, we have the group by. We have a lot of formulas actually that helps us to get things done. Yeah, they help us to get things done quickly. We have this today. So if you want to do something that needs you to be able to input the day, I mean that particular day you are working on, then you use your is today. We have the length, we have the length. Sorry, are these formulas for Power Platform? Yes, these are formulas for Power Platform. So we have the navigate. We are going to be using the navigate today. We did not use navigate yesterday because we generated our app automatically, but we are going to be using the navigate today. We have the power, we have the proper. Look at the proper here. If you are familiar with Excel, you will actually know that this is what proper does. I mean, this is what proper do. So it will help you to capitalize every first word in a letter. I mean, if you're writing a sentence like I am a boy, every word in the sentence will be capitalized. Every word in the sentence, every first word in the sentence will be capitalized. So we have a lot of formula. We have the rename column to remove, to relate, a lot, a lot, a lot. So by the time you start sort by column, start with, so we use the start with our filter. Or let me say I use it with my filter basically. We also have the sort by columns. We have the this item, we have the trim, we have the home group, we have the hopper, we have the validate, and then we have the here. We have a lot of them. So that is just to go over all the let me see. So once you click exactly, so once you click on any of the formula, it takes you to another link where you get to see how the formula works and how you can apply them, how you can apply them. So checking the other link, get started with formula and Canvas app. So okay, yeah. So these are the formulas with more pictures, so you can see how they are actually used. So we talked about the formula bar. I want to believe everybody knows what a formula bar is. The formula bar is where you put your formulas basically. Yeah. So in the text, hello world, so 1, 2, 3. Like I told you, in the formula bar, you can write a text. I mean, the formula bar takes a text or numbers, yeah, depending on what you need. So to change the color based on user input. We have the slider. I use the slider in a particular on a particular app. Can anybody remind me? I did a demo of that application where I use a slider. Can anybody remind me where I use a slider? I use a slider on one of the apps that I've demoed in this class. Can anybody remember? Let me see who get that correctly. But let me say default, we use it to add the sample value so that it's easier to fill. Yes, I understand what you are trying to say. So for you to be able to view your edit form, once you generate your app or once you start creating your app, by the time you create your edit form, what you are going to be seeing is no item displayed at first. I mean, even if you are if you are creating your app as a canvas app or you're automatically generating it, what you are going to see is no item displayed. So you will have to go to the items. You will click on the edit form, then go to items. You will now change the item to default data source. Yeah, so you change it to the default, then the name of that data source, then your edit form pop out. That is the only way you will now be able to write into the form. That is the only way you'll be able to write into the form. Shoe app. Thank you so much, Adon. Yes, the shoe app. So I showed the slide. I use a slider to be able to impute quantity. Yeah, to be able to impute quantity on the shoe app. Adon, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. So everybody is paying attention and it is very good to know. So this is the other link. You can see this is just a link. I mean, this is just one of the You can see where I'm hovering on. So there's a lot to learn on formulas. But the thing with formulas is you can't even know everything. Yeah, you can't know everything until you start using them. So that's the interesting thing about formulas. You can't know everything until you start using them. And I'm going to be bringing on my screen now to show you something. So yeah, I'm done with this particular one. I'm going to be sharing my screen now to show you this. So this is just a Word document. I call it my own formula note. I mean, over the years, everything that I do, I've been trying to document it. So these are even links that have really worked for me. I've also tried to create them, share with everyone so that you can play around with it. But they are also Microsoft Learn resources, so there may not even be a need for you to have this because it's still the same thing that we have there. But what I have here is what I call my own formula. But whenever I'm able to use a particular formula and it works, I come quickly here to my formula notebook to jot it down. So that next time when I come back to when I need to be able to use that formula for another application, it gets very easy for me to be able to do. How to view a gallery, how to view the details of the column, adding a currency sign, filtering a gallery using an unselect. Once I see that I'm able to, let me zoom out a bit. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit so that we can see this. Yeah, so I think this is zoomed out. So once I'm able to use a formula and it works to submit and edit form, you will see this particular submit and edit form. We used the submit form yesterday when we created a button for our attendance form. Yeah. So once I'm able to use a formula, sometimes it takes time when you want to. So that's what we call the application logic. How do you want to achieve what you want to do? You want to be able to move from one screen to another. How am I going to be able to do it? Then you need your navigate formula. I want to be able to update a particular inventory list. How do I do that? Use your patch function. And there are even many ways that you can update your app. So once I see that I've been able to use a formula and it works well, I quickly come to my formula notebook and then jot it down. It's very interesting. It's very interesting because by the time you want to build an app, you just quickly come to your formula notebook, copy it, put it in your formula bar on your app, and then you just change all the let me say the components because the component changes with time. So you just change all the components and then you implement. So that's just to tell us that it is very important that we document everything that we do as an app developer. It's just for you to be able to you don't waste time. Yeah, you don't waste time. You can build an app in a day and you can build an app in a month. So yeah, it depends on how you go about all those things. So you can build an app in a day in the sense that if you worked on an app before and you are now being told to create something similar, you just quickly pull up your notebook or an app you've worked on, then copy the formula, duplicate it, and you are done. So it's as simple as that. But if there are new features, you may not be able to do that. You will have to see that, think about the logic properly before attempting to create the app. So we'll move on now to yeah. So it's time now to create our app. But for the sake of the people that are just joining this class today, so let me show you around the application that we created yesterday. So I'm opening my Power Apps. I'm opening my Power Apps. And yeah, so there's something I wanted to say. Or let me say I want to just mention of. Yeah, so somebody asked a question on the Telegram group. Like I told you yesterday that the conversation always continues on the Telegram group. If there's any question uh you want to ask, if there's anything you are faced, I mean any issue you are faced, we can always ask. The person was asking that there's no power apps on Office 365, and then I told him to click on the apps. And then he said he clicked on the apps that it's still not showing. So the thing is, if after you've picked these apps, I mean this one at the left corner, and your application is not showing, then it means two things. You will need to either write the mail support to know why it's not working, or you will need to check your subscription. I mean, your license that you actually subscribe for, because Office 365 have different licenses. Some does not allow Power Apps, while some allow. Yeah, I mean, so it depends on, do you subscribe to the basic? Do you subscribe to the free trial? Do you subscribe to the premium? So not all, even having Microsoft 365, having just having Microsoft 365 does not guarantee you that you will actually have Power Apps on it. But once you click on the app and you can't see Power Apps, and then you come to this all apps again, you tap it and you can't see Power Apps, then it means that probably you are not subscribed to an Office 365 that can use Power Apps, I mean that have Power Apps, or you can just do a mail to the admin center, then ask them, they will put you through on how to go about the whole thing. So that's just so I just also walked us through again how to get to our Power App. So I hope the person that was asking this question on the Telegram, I just really hope he's on this call so that he can follow this process and you can get your Power Apps. Yeah, so and then there's something here. Um, so I want everybody to tell me what they can see on my screen now. Tell me what application you can see that I'm hovering on. What application can you see that I'm hovering on? Because I want to point something very important out. Yeah, so we're currently on Power Hub, but what is the name of the application I'm hovering on? Attendance app. Yeah, attendance app, the attendance app. So I'm going to do this now. So what app can you see again? Keep it on the same power page. How? This is interesting. How is keep it on the same power page? Yes, so Ayomide is seeing boutique app. So what I just did now is that I just switched my environment. I mean, this morning, so when I wanted to open this power app this morning, I came here hoping to be able to access my attendance app that I created yesterday, and then I didn't see it. I mean, I came to this particular page this morning and I didn't see the attendance app. I was worried that all of this, what is really happening? Did I not save this app yesterday? Only for me to now remember that, oh, I'm actually in the wrong environment. Yeah, so Star, thank you so much, Linda. So I was in the wrong environment this morning. It took a while, like 5 minutes. I was thinking, what happened? Did I not save this app? Did I not save this app? But I could remember I saved the app. I could remember I saved the app. And I remember, oh, I'm actually in the wrong environment. So it is very important that we know all those things. Yesterday, I also talked about what we call the should I call it the admin center for the app management itself? Like it takes a lot of, how do I put it now? Intentionality. There's a need for you to know, oh, who are going to be my co-owner of this app? Who are the people that I'll be sharing this app with? Who are the people that should be able to edit the app? Who are the people that should be able to just view the app? And then all these things start from the environment. So you can see now that I have two environments here. We have the Microsoft default environment, and then we'll have the my own personal environment, Agile Development, which I created. So you can actually switch environment, and you may have forgotten that you've even created one environment before, and you'll be wondering where did the app go. So once I go back to the Microsoft default, so this is just to tell you that what we built actually yesterday went into the Microsoft default environment, while the others have been building sit on my what is it called, on my personal environment. So yeah, I find it really interesting, and I say, oh, I must share this today so that by the time you are working, you are not confused and you know the particular environment that you actually want to work in. So yeah, so very quickly, this is a good time to start. So I go back to my environment and I will start building our HR leave tracker. Yes, so this is the app that we're going to be creating together. Microsoft environment for student developer. Thank you so much, Ayomide. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. So to create our app, all we need to do is to click on create. So to create your app, there are different ways to create your app. We have the creating from blank app, we have creating from Dataverse, we have creating from SharePoint, we have creating from Excel. So you can even prepare your SharePoint list. I mean, so you are not going to be calling SharePoint, we are going to call it like an Excel, your work. You can prepare everything down outside this SharePoint, and then you now upload into a SharePoint list. I mean, you upload into a SharePoint, and then it now becomes your SharePoint list. Let me rephrase that so that we can understand. You can create your app in different ways. I mean, we all need data sources. All those things that you are seeing here are data sources. Database is a data source. SharePoint is a data source. Excel is a data source. SQL is a data source. So you always need a data source to create your app. You can create an Excel workbook, you create it outside here, and then you upload it into a SharePoint. Once you upload it into a SharePoint, then it becomes a SharePoint list. Yeah. So creating it from a blank app now, I do my create. So this is the part yesterday where I talked about we talked about the two formats that you can uh use to create your app. Do you want to do your tablet or do you want to do your phone? The app that we created, so I said I want to show the application that we created yesterday for the sake of people that was not in class. So I'll quickly do that. So let me just explain this. So these are the two formats, the tablet mode and the phone mode. The boutique app that I demoed on Monday it was in tablet mode, and the HR lead that was also going to be working on will be in a tablet mode. The free high classes attendance training form have allocated was in a phone mode. Yeah, it was in a phone mode. So let me quickly show us the training attendance for those that are just joining this class for the very first time. I'll just quickly walk through it so that they see. So it takes a while. While this is loading, let me open my SharePoint. So I said there are two ways to also go to your SharePoint. Either clicking on this thing in the top left corner. So you come here to click your SharePoint, or you scroll down where you have all your apps here, and then you click on SharePoint. So I think this is still loading. So while that is still loading, let's create our SharePoint list that we're going to be using for our HR tracker, the HR leave tracker. So you come to your site. Site is the first thing to always create. I won't go over the site again because I've explained it twice. So if you are just joining the class, you can always fall back on our recording. The recording is always available immediately we end the session. So you can go to the YouTube to get the recording. So I click on this, which is the site we've created where we want to have our SharePoint list. So I will do this to create a SharePoint list. So this is a new SharePoint list that we're creating. So this is also still loading. Let's see which one is done loading. Okay, good. So the application is done loading. So this is the attendance form. This application was generated uh, automatically with a SharePoint list. The people that were on the call yesterday saw the whole process, how we created the app from the SharePoint list. So this is responsive. This is what we call the browser screen, the browse screen. Once you click on this, it takes you to the details screen where you get to see the detail of everything in the SharePoint. And then once you click on this, you delete that particular record. And with this also, it takes you to the edit form where you can input something. Yeah, it takes you to where you can input something because of our time, because we need to start working on the app that I want to work on today. I won't do any demo on this. So on the attendance form, we have the full name, the email address, the phone number, the date and time, the course title, data science with Python, data analysis with Power BI, app development. We have the gender, and then we have attachments. Yes, I showed those attachments yesterday. Showed us attachment. So this is just to let the people that were not on the call yesterday have a feel of what the application looks like. So I go back. and then we'll move here. So creating our new blank list, which we call the HR leave request tracker. So I write my small description. This application. So we're going to be having two sites for this application. I mean, we're going to be having two screens. This application allows a staff to make a request, and it will also allow, or let me say, and it will also help the HR to track the leave request. Leave request. So we click on create. Yes, so now we have our SharePoint list created, the HR leave request tracker. We have it created already. So coming back here, I move to the environment where I want to work, which is my personal environment. This is where I want to create the HR leave request today. So I click on create, or let's do our SharePoint list first, then we'll create our app. So for our HR leave request, what do you think? What do you think? What are the columns you think uh, we need in this app? I mean, what are the things you actually feel we need on this app? I want to see our ideas in the chat, because this is actually the part where we are doing our business requirement now. Name, date of leave, thank you. Worker's name, thank you. Staff ID, thank you. ID is very important. So we'll rename this to let's rename this to employer ID, or employee, not employer, employee, the staff. But let's call it staff ID. So we'll have the staff ID, and then we'll say this is the full name of the staff. So we'll save it. Just a minute. Okay, yeah, so we'll have the full name. Let me see in the chat what other things we need. Leave purpose, leave duration, thank you. So we'll have what we call the start date. Start date. So the start date implies uh when the staff will be going on leave. And then we also have what we call the end date. Then we also have what we call, let me see in the chat again, the post, the start date. Okay, so we also have what we call the department. I mean, uh, so for a department, what do you think is the data type that's perfect to use? The department. So when I'm talking about department, I'm talking about the unit in the company that the person belongs to. So what do you feel will be the best data type to use? Let me see my chart. Choice. Thank you so much, Linda. Linda said choice. So we use a choice. So we use a choice. So we call it department. So let's have three, let's have five department for the sake of this class, so that I don't have something now. So those are the most common departments in a company. We have the admin, we have the finance, we have the technical delivery. Um, we also have the social media, and we can also have, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that. Which other one? Which other one? Admin, finance, technical delivery, social media. The creative team. Yeah, all our graphic design and all. So we save this. So it's still saving. Yeah. So let's see which other what other stuff will be very important. Yes, we also need the type of leave. I mean the leave request itself. So for the leave request also, the best thing would be to use we can actually use a test. I mean, depending on whatever. So this is where the logic comes in. How do you want the leave request to be boxed into a number of things? Should it just be sick leave, vacation, paternal leave, and then you just have the number of leaves like that? Or you want them to be writing the type of leave they want to go into. So because of this class, we'll use a choice so that we can box the list into let's say five things. So the leave request itself, so sick leave, vacation, uh, maternal leave, paternal or maternal. Which other type of leave is? Let's put emergency, even though there's nothing like emergency leave. Emergency leave will still be like a sick leave. Or let me check my chart. Let me see. Let me see. Annual leave. Thank you. Study leave. I like that study leave. And I like the casual leave. So I'll put the study and then I'll put the casual. So the casual can be anything depending on whatever you want to be. So I save this. So Enoch is saying compassionate leave. So which one is compassionate leave? So what other things you feel we need? We've talked about the employee ID, the full name, the department, the start date, the end date, the type of leave. So let's see if we can write, let's add description. So for description now, because it may be very long, we're not going to be using just text. We will use multiple lines of text. So description is like, oh, as an HR, I still want to know why you are going on leave. Even if you are going on vacation, tell me where you are going. So we put this as description. So this is just the staff will have to write a story. I will be going on this leave to do this, to do this, to do that. And then, like I told you yesterday, you can actually rearrange this your column. We have the full name here. We have the start date. We have the end date. We have the department. We have the leave request. So we feel the department should come before the start date. So we can just drag it here before the start and then the end date. Then the leave request. So I think the leave request can also come before the start date and the end date. And then the description can come after. Yeah. Yeah. So our SharePoint list is ready. Our SharePoint list is very ready. Request status. Thank you so much, Sylvester. This is one thing that we've actually missed. Any need for sex? No, except for okay. Let's do it this way. Oh, because we are actually going to be having two screens on this app. Let's take some things again about the staff ID. So the staff is putting their ID, they are putting their full name. Let's take their gender also. So this allows us to actually know the staff. We can have two people bearing the same name in the company. So with choice, we can do gender. We'll be able to know that this is Bukumi boy, this is Bukumi girl. Male and then female. Even though, yeah, so this two works. Let's see what other things we need from the profile side. We have the department the staff will belong, we have the gender, we have the staff ID. Yes, and then the approval status. So the approval status will also be a choice. We are using many choices in this application. Approval status. So approval status will be granted, not granted, and then we can put pending. So pending will be like, I'm still thinking about it. So this particular approval status will be on the HR stable. Not going to be on not going. So let me move my agenda to this side before let's put it here. Mhm. So some of the things I will have here will be on the first screen, um the the staff side, while some things will also be on the HR side. So let me see my chat again if there's any interesting. I think gender should come after full name. Yes, gender is after full name. Thank you so much, Idayas. That's why I just moved gender to after full name. Thank you. Comment like approve or not approve. Pending. Thank you, Go Flora. Everybody's following. So let's move to our Power Apps where we now create, tap that blank app, and then we'll click on create. So the name of our app is HR Leave Leave Tracker, or we can call it Leave Request slash Tracker. Leave Request Tracker. Yeah, HR Leave Request or Tracker. So this is just a HR Leave Request Tracker, and then we'll put it in our tablet format, and then we'll click on Create. So our application is half baked. So our application is coming up now. Yeah, so somebody saying I think designation is necessary. Well, yeah, it's also there are a lot. So that is a part of the business requirement. Like I said, it's the business requirement is very, very important. I mean, very, very important. If a company is telling you they want this designation in their on their app, you don't have a choice as an app developer, because after you are done building the app and you forget, they will call you back to it, and it will not be funny. So whatever they tell you from the business requirements, and you need to implement it. So my app is floating. And yeah, this is also to tell everyone, I mean that are just joining. So Power Platform Tools actually takes a lot on your internet strength. Yeah, you need very strong internet to be able to operate your Power Platforms. That's why you see something lagging sometimes. So it's not new. It's still getting ready. So while this is still loading, let's see. Let's play around. Everything's ready. Everything's ready. And I think my internet is even strong. Let's see what we can do. In the meantime, while this is loading. Yeah, so Olajide, we are creating the app by ourselves today. We are creating the app by ourselves today, not from the SharePoint list. Let me refresh this. Let's see what's happening. It's taking longer than usual. Finally, our app is ready. Yes. So once you create your app like this is what you have. You can see that this particular tablet is now in a landscape format. The yesterday the attendance one was in a portrait format. So that's the difference between the tablet view and the what is it called? And the form view and the phone view. And once you also do this, another way to know is also by playing your app. Once you come to this, the first thing that you are going to see at the top will be the tablet view, and then you'll be able to see the view. I mean, like a real phone tablet. Yeah. I always like to put mine on Samsung Galaxy Tab. So this is how you get to see the view. So this is our full screen. This is our first screen. There's something we'll do called. So let me introduce us to all the features that we have. Again, we have the test label, we have our edit form, we have our test input, we have our vertical gallery, and we're going to be making use of all those things. And we have what we call containers. So containers are like this is a raw screen. I mean a raw screen. So there's a need for you to always box things into the screen. Let me search for my container here. Container is, excuse me, new component. I don't remember where my container is. Let me even see my container. Container. Okay, yeah. So these are my container. So if you can't see what you are searching for here, just come into this box here where you have the insert. This houses everything. I mean everything. So just you can pick your vertical container, or you can pick the horizontal container. So we are going to be seeing all these features, and then we'll also play with our formula. So this is what um feature loading. This is what a horizontal container looks like. This is what a vertical container looks like. So I'm going to be deleting them. What I want to use is this vertical container. So I will extend this. So now whatever we're going to be doing, we'll box into this. You can see the container inside the phone now. I mean this thing, the square. Yeah, so that's the container. So whatever we're going to be doing will be boxed into the container. So the first thing we are going to be playing with is our text label, which we want to use to get a user profile. So I will call this particular. So it's also important that you label your features. I mean, it's always important that you label your features. But for the sake of this class, we are going to be doing a lot. So let's just continue. So we'll do for this one. So these are just watching. We have what we call the user. So once you do something like this, user dot full name. Let me see my full name. User dot full name. Oh, I think I'm getting my formula wrong. Interesting. User dot. Oh, yeah. Trying to understand something. So the first formula that I just wrote, I'm trying to understand something. Yeah. So the first formula that I just wrote now is the user dot full name. User dot full name helps you to get the profile that you. Let me see if I can zoom. Let me see if I can zoom out a bit, just so that it will, So user.full name helps you to get your profile out. If I change this to user.email, just pay attention to the formula and then what is appearing in the text field, I mean in our label. So the thing with writing formula is that even before you are done writing the formula, PowerApps itself will hint you. So sometimes it is very important that you put what we call the quotation mark. Just like you writing a Python string. I mean, you are writing a string in Python, you will need to put what we call the quotation mark at the two sides. So if you are writing anything also, a string, a text, an alphabet, or a sentence in Power Apps, you also put your quotation mark at the two sides. And even if you are writing your number, let's say 25, you also put your quotation because this is like a text, but it's a number. So what we want to do first is to get our profile. User, once you do user, open your bracket, close it, dot. By the time you do your dot, let me see, I was still following, and can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can still hear me clearly and you are seeing my screen. Let me know that everybody is still with me. Thank you so much, Blessed, for that confirmation. Thank you, Monday. Thank you, GoFlora. Yeah, so once you do your dot, by the time you want to type the next thing, Power Automate will tell you, okay, what do you want to do? Then I can just tap with my full name now, and what will be appearing inside here will be my full name. So this is full name, and let me see. I think I can. If I do, should I do comma or just move to? Um, I'm thinking. Yeah. So full name. So what I want to do here is that I want to write. Um, that's what I would love to do. I will just be I will be bringing my formulas very quickly. I'll bringing in my formulas very quickly while I just explain. I'm bringing in my formula quickly, then I will do the explanation. So I clear this out now. This is to welcome the user of the app. So you can see this. Welcome, Adiola Oluwabukumi. So for you to add your welcome, what we did before is the user.full name. User name allows you to be able to, like it goes into the profile that you have in that environment to bring out the person that registered there. User.full name, that's the Ajola community. The welcome that we're adding now is a string. So we'll do our open our quotation, do our quotation mark, welcome, comma, add another quotation, and then use your ampersand to add the profile that we're trying to bring in. So with this now, well, everybody that comes on the app, I mean every staff that comes on the app, by the time they get to this part, what will be showing for them will be their name. So I can come here to my property side and bold in this particular stuff. So you can now say this, and I can also increase the font to let's say 15. Everybody that comes to this app gets this welcome message at the top corner. Another thing you can also do is to add, so this same thing also works for the email address. Another thing I will also be doing is to do the one for image. I think my container is reacting with my container is reacting with my component. Let me see what I can do. Oh, it's even, or should I leave it like this? I think it's almost the same thing. I would have really okay. I think I know what to do. So I will move this particular one. I'll move this particular label. I'll move it to go and meet this. So that we can yeah, I think this is also nice. So for the image, you do the same thing. user dot image. Then my image should appear inside the box. So once I play this, so you can see this now, but I've actually preferred this to be on the right side. But my container is reacting with my components and I need my, well, I think that's also nice. This is also nice. So there's a need for me to save this project so that I don't lose what I've done. Like I told you, there's a need for you to keep saving your project. So welcome, Angela. Welcome me. So there's another thing we need. We need a cool picture that will depict what we are doing. HR leave request. Let's just go on Google to bring up an image, leave request mails. So I'm scrolling out to see application. Yeah, I think I like this. Ah, but this is having someone's logo. It will not be nice to use this. Let me scroll. I just need a picture. All these things are having request for leave of absence. Let me see. Last minute leave. I think I will just use this one. Let's just use this one because I don't want us to waste time at all. So I'll just save this one. So I'm bringing in another image. So for you to get your image, just go to your media. You can go to your display. You go to your media. Go to your media, then your image. So I need this one to look big. This is still reacting with my. I don't like what this thing is doing. I don't like what this thing is doing. I don't like what this thing is doing. Edit. I think I will just remove my container for now and figure out or bring it back later. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. It's not even meant to be doing this way. Let me just remove the container for now. It's not allowing the flexibility that I need. So I'll bring the container back. The benefit of using a container is that it allows you to be able to box things, and that's what it's actually doing. But yeah, it should have done it in a better way. It's not allowing the flexibility that I need, but it's actually doing its job. Just that I don't want what it's doing currently. So I can move this now to where I wanted it to be. So this can be here, while this can be here. I think I like this now. Yeah, and then I can also change the test alignment. Can you see where I'm hovering on? This is the test alignment. Do you want it to be at the middle or do you want it to be at the far left like this? So the next thing I want to add is a big image that will depict our HR leave. I just hope this picture will be nice. So to add a picture, this one we did this one by using our formula. So you can add your image from here. And you see what I'm moving on my property side. Currently we have none here because nothing is actually there. So if you want to upload your image, you do your upload and then you pick your gallery, download. So this should be here. Where's my downloaded image? Oh, I can't see my downloaded image. Just a minute. A minute. I just hope this next one. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, okay, I'm here. Hmm. So I'm trying to move this to a new folder now. I think I'll be able to see this. Oh, the picture is not. I understand what is happening now. The picture is not in JPEG format. Oh my God, I should have even letter to regarding. The picture is not in JPEG format. Natural leaf. Let's try this. Okay, yeah, this is JPEG. Yes, so finally have something that should work. Yeah, so we're just going to manage this. So you can zoom this out. You can just make it smaller depending on what you want to do. And then the next thing is to add our button. Remember that we have two sides for this particular application. We have the part where the staff will be making a request. Create the second button. So this one we'll call it the staff request, and the second one will be HR tracker, or let's call it leaf tracker. Yes. So once you tap on this now, you will see this part at the top when you get to bolding what you are doing, and then you can also change the font size. This is if you don't want to come to your property site. So you can also do it at the top there. And then you can make this border a bit. And another thing you can also do, this is looking like, so the shape of the button is looking rectangular. You can also change the shape of the button by coming to your border radius. So once you put it at 15, the edges will shrink in. Yeah, the edges will shrink in. You can see that it's not different from what we have here. So if you put it at 20, the edges shrink in like very well. So you put it at 20 like this. So border radius helps you to make sure that the edges of the button shrink. So we can repeat what we have here. This is 16 bold, and then we also make this to be 16 bold, 16 bold, and we change the border radius to 20, border radius to 20. Another thing we can also do is check the width and the height. This is 183.48. You come here also, change this to 183. 48 for alignment. Yeah. And then you check the position also. If you click on this, you'll see that this is at 959x, 300y. If we all remember the coordinate that we did, let me zoom this out so that we can all see this properly. So this is at 959x horizontal. This is 300y. So you can also come here to do this. This is at 959x. This is at 496y. Yeah, so I think they are aligned actually when it comes to the x coordinates. So they are currently aligned. Yeah, they are properly aligned. So we can have a view of what we currently have. So this is like the interface of our app. This is our interface of our app. This is what we have currently. So the next thing, can also still think, oh, what else can we have here? We can even have the name of the app, create another label, and then this will be the name of the application. So this will be maybe your company, a G, or let's just put HR. Let's just put HR leave tracker app application, or let's just leave it as app. So we also change this to, let's change this to 20 or 25, and then we'll make it bold. So I extend this. Yeah, and then I can also change the color of, I can change the color of the, what is it called? The color of the font. So I can put it like this, or make it darker. Okay, let's leave it at this. I think this is the color. And then I can change the background color to black, but this will not really look good. Let's leave it at, let's see if there's any color that will be interesting. Oh, no, no, this is not interesting. This also looks somehow. I think I should just leave it at white. So we have our blue on white. So you can also move this around to make sure just for alignment with the welcome Angela. So this is the part where you also become creative with what you are doing. I mean, you really become creative. You box everything together. I remember I wanted to start with the container so that everything is boxed inside the app, but this is still looking good even without the container. But let me see if I can. I think at this point I should still be able to bring my container back. Let me bring my container back because I really like container. It gives your app this interesting look. So let's see what happens. Yeah. So I can have it like this and then have it like this. Yeah. So everything is boxed inside here, basically. Perfect. So let's view it now. Can you see what I'm saying? So it's now everything is boxed inside the container. So we're done with our first screen. And yeah, we're done with our first screen. So the next thing is to create our second screen. Let me see in the chat if there are questions. I hope we're all still following. If we are following, let me see your reactions in the chat. And if you are enjoying Canvas app, let me see your reactions in the chat. So this is the difference between Canvas app and the automatically generated app. The Canvas app allows you to be very creative. It allows you to work how you like. So this is the difference between Canvas app and the automatically generated app. So you can see that there's a lot of difference between the two now. So now that we're done with our screen one, we can move to creating a new screen, which we are going to call the screen two. So create a blank screen two. So screen two is where, let me zoom in. So screen two is where we bring our edit form in. Edit form, I mean, we want the staff to be able to click here and then they fill their details. So bring our edit form. So once you bring your edit form, this is what it shows you. Your edit form requests immediately for your data source. Let me zoom out again. Yeah, so your edit form requests immediately for your data source. And then once you tap out, it shows you this. And you can also add your data source by coming to your property site, click on the none, and then put the type of data source you want to add. There are, like I told you, there are different data sources. There's OneDrive, can create table. You can say this is OneDrive. This is OneDrive. This is OneDrive for business. This is Excel Online business. This is OneNote. This is Public 360. Different data sources. So for our own, we are dealing with our SharePoint. So I click on my SharePoint. So after clicking on your SharePoint, it will tell you the particular SharePoint you are using. I mean, this is the SharePoint of this particular environment. And then it will list all the SharePoint for you. You can see all the SharePoint. It will list all the SharePoint sites for you because inside the SharePoint site is where we have the SharePoint list. So I click on my SharePoint site and then all the SharePoint lists that you've created, you will see them listed in your SharePoint site. So now this is our HR request. I just click on it and then I tap connect. So once you tap connect, your application loading the start loading the start loading the SharePoint list. It's loading now. So let me check the chat to see if there are questions. Wow, this is loading. Mufta said we are enjoying. Kaya says, can we integrate an organization API to Yes, Power Apps allows you to use different type of API. So far it can use it. So that's another thing. So far it can use it, it will allow you to use it. So you can see now, all our columns are now here. These are our columns. But because what we want to use here, this is the staff side. The only thing we are going to be removing here is the approval status. So we'll remove the approval status there because we don't need it for the staff side. So we can just take out the approval status. Yeah. The full name, the start date, the end date, the department, the leave request, the description, the gender. There's a particular column missing. The employee ID, staff ID. Let me see. Where did my Oh, this is interesting. Let me see. It's selected. Full name, start date, end date, the request, description, gender, attachment, expand field details. Let me see add feed. So I need to add the title here. So it didn't pick my title ID. Yeah, this is the title ID, which is actually the employer ID. And okay, let me rearrange. So you can also rearrange your. So this is our edit form. Basically, this is our edit form. Let me reshape the attachment. You can see now that the title, it's probably because I renamed it here. That's why it's not showing. I mean, like it didn't really pick it. So for you to play around with your edit form, let me zoom out so that we can all see. Or let me zoom in. I think this is perfect. So this is our data source now. You can see it here. If you also click here, this left side, you should also see your SharePoint list there. So it's telling you that we're actually live. We are connected. So the edit feed is here. You can see how it's listed. How it's listed here is how it is also arranged. So there's a need for us to move our title up because that's the employer ID. Hmm. So this is where you can rearrange your stuffs. The title, the full name, the start date, the end date. So everything is like that. Let's also see what else we can move. So the end date is there. Uh, I think we should move our department there. We should move our department to the start date so that properly arranged. So let's move department. Let's move gender. So this is not even following not following what we did at the back end. Look at this thing. So what then I move my department up also. I need my department to be here. And then we start date, leave request, description. Perfect. I think what we'll have now. Yeah, so I have my this is perfect. This is perfect. What we'll have now is perfect. But let me confirm something. I want to confirm why I did not pick my staff ID. I just hope the staff ID is not somewhere playing. Okay, so there's no staff ID. So that means the remember that we actually renamed our title to staff ID in the SharePoint, list, but I'm still surprised it did not pick the title. I mean, why? Okay, so this is our edit form now, and I think I can bring this down a bit, and then I can add my label here so that everybody can know what is happening on this page, that this page is actually for staff requests. And then I also bolded this. And remember, we are now working with this color. But I would have really loved. Okay, I think I know what to do. I will make the let's make the background this color, and then the font can now be white. I think this should be awesome. Perfect. Yeah. So this makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is cool compared to having white over having blue over white background. So I can also move this a bit here. Yeah. So who wants to tell me what do you think this? Let's play. So let's play this. Can you see what is happening now? No item to display. Who wants to tell me how do you think we can bring our edit form to life? What do I need to press? I made mention of this morning, and somebody got the answer in the chat. Somebody actually answered it in the chat. How do I bring my edit form live? Even approval status. Please don't forget to name it. Yes. Default. Thank you, Alima. Thank you, Sylvester. Default. Yes. So we need to do the default. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you for me. Thank you, Linda. Everybody's following. Good. So we need to do our default. So you click on the edit form. So there are two ways to click on the edit form. Either you click on it here, you tap it, or you come to your tree view. So this is the tree view. Scroll down, you can see your form here. By the time you click on form, this is label. By the time you click on your form, then you have your form all highlighted, and then you can now come to the data. You come to items. So the data source is telling you that the data source is actually HR leave request tracker. So you come to item. Item is where you do the magic. So you do your default, and then but by the time you open your bracket, Power Apps will tell you what you want to do next. So just close it and then play our edit form. It's now open. Yeah, so somebody said I should not forget to rename yeah, so there's a need for me to change this title. So automatically, Power Apps also generate the column name for you. So if you want to re-edit it, all you need to do is to tap on the column name. So this is title now. You tap on it and then you clear what is in there. So it will always bring out the parent.display name. It's telling you that this is like the default display name. So just clear it. So this is not clearing because all our fields are still locked. So there's a need for me to unlock all our fields. So these are what we call cards. So this is it. By the time you create your edit form and then you bring it to your Power Apps, then they become a card. It's just like the card we have in Power BI. If you remember cards in Power BI, it's the same thing. So we call it card also on Power Apps. So there's a need for you to open up your cards. And in some situation also, there may be a need for you to lock. Well, we're even going to lock some cards. You will see how we'll lock some cards by the time we get to the HR part of this app. So for these apps, that request, we need to unlock the cards so that we'll be able to fill, we'll be able to make changes. We'll be able to fill inside it, make changes to whatever I want to do. Payment, we unlock. Start date, we unlock. End date, we unlock. Leave request, we unlock. Description, we unlock it. And then The last one, which is the attachment, we unlock. So let's do this first. Let's change our title now. Now I'll be able to edit this. So can you see? So I change this to staff ID. Yeah. And then very quickly, let's put in all our card name. 15. Oh, did I change? No. Let me change it back to 13 for uniformity. So I put in everything. There's even another way that you can set all these things using variables. I mean, you will just write another formula and all these things will change automatically by themselves. There's a lot you can do with Power Apps. You would have set all the colors. Yeah, so everything is looking really nice now. And I'm even thinking of bringing back my container. I'm thinking of bringing back my container. So who can tell me what else do we need on this screen to make it perfect? We need two things actually. Then let me see who will get it right. We need two things to make this particular screen top notch. I mean, like final. What do you think we need for this screen to be done with? Can't one select all the cards and edit the font board at once? No, but you can use. Thank you, Sylvester. We need a submit button. Yeah, thank you, Joshua. We need a submit button, and then we need another thing. So one more thing. So Monday is saying can't one select all the cards and edit the font? No, you cannot click on all the stores at the same time, but you can write a formula. You will set all the variables of the column. Yeah, you write a formula. So yes, we all got the submit button right. Let me bring my submit button, but there's one more thing that we need. Who wants to try? Remember that we now have two screens and there's a need for us to always move from one screen to another. So what do you think we need on this screen? Now have two screens and we'll be having three by the time we bring in the HR hole. So what do you think we need on this screen to make it final? Next, thank you. Yeah, so we can have next, we can have back. We can have next, we can have back, but I will be calling it the home button. Yes, so we'll be using the home button. And once you type home in your search bar like this, once you type home, PowerApps will bring home for you. Can you see this? So this home is also a button. I mean, it can actually work like a button. That's the good part of it. But we're going to be using the symbol just to actually make it imply like, oh, this is actually home button. This is home button. So I move this way. So let's preview our app. Let me even save. I'm not saved it. I'm not saved all this way. So I need to save my app. Okay, so this is saved now. Then let's play. Yeah, this is looking good. I think this is looking good. I don't think I need the container right now, even though container is always sweet. Yeah. So our application is almost ready. So let's work with our submit button. So there's a need for us to make sure that this submit button submit into our SharePoint. And that is the part where we write submit form one. So submit form one is the formula to submit our into our SharePoint list. And then this one, the home button, we do navigate screen one. Something is wrong with my formula. Okay, that's corrected the same. Navigate screen one. So let's see what we've done. If we click on the home button, we come to this part. So there's also a need for us to work on this. I mean the start request button itself. button. So on my screen, I have button 2 and I have button 1. So for button 1, I do navigate screen 2. So let's save. And then I'm going to do something interesting now. So start request. Oh my God. My container is, it's affecting my button again. Just imagine. And this wasn't up before. Just a minute. Let's see what is happening. Let me just take it out. In the next class, I will find a way to, I will see why this is happening. And that's one funny thing about Microsoft services. They keep changing a lot. What worked yesterday may not even work today. So let me delete my container so that it can let us breathe. Is this aligned? Almost. Yes. I think this is aligned. I think this is aligned. So that's actually the benefit of the container. I think this is aligned, or I can move it down a bit. Yeah. So let me save. So now once I click on my start request, we go to this screen. Once I tap on my home button, we come back to this screen. Once I type on my start request, we come back to this. Now we can fill this staff ID. Staff ID will be number. So staff ID is a number that would have been generated for all staffs. I mean, you will have your number. So let's say this is a G001. Your name is Adiola Bumi. My gender is male. My department, technical delivery. The start date, the start date of my leave should be, let's just input a random date, 13, and then it should end yesterday, 30th. Then the leave request. I would like to go on vacation. Then the description. I want to enjoy myself. I just want to enjoy myself. I just want to enjoy myself. That's the description. And then you can attach a file. So attaching a file means, oh, maybe you've booked your ticket flight already, and your flight is meant to leave tomorrow. I mean, your flight is leaving tomorrow. So you attach the flight ticket for the HR to see that, please help me quickly work on this. And then you click on submit. Once you click on submit, you will see all these dot dot dots at the top part here. So it means that your stuff is actually submitting. And once you come back to your SharePoint list, you refresh, the details should fill in. Yes. So our details is filled in now. So can you see our details is filled in? The only thing that is not filled in is the approval status that we removed. So I told you that I will be adding something because when I click submit now, it even looks like nothing is happening. So there's another thing you can do to this submit part. You can add what we call a notification. Come in. I'm just going to copy the code. Why? That's a successful email. Let me see. I think I'm missing something now. Okay. What is missing? Yeah. So like I said yesterday, that if you are making a mistake, what you are going to see is your app checker telling you that something is wrong. So I'm using a comma instead of a semicolon. So once you click on your app checker, the app checker will also try to tell you what is wrong. Unexpected characters on the button 3 on select. So it's telling you that something is wrong with your character that you are trying to use. And that's actually true. What's supposed to be here with a semicolon. So submit form. Then after submitting form, notify that a request has successfully been made. Or we can say thank you for making your request. Or what do you think you would like to see? Let me put it in the chat. What would you like to see as a feedback as a staff for making a request? A request has successfully been made. Uh, thank you for submit. Thank you for your submission. Thank you for submitting stuff like that. So you just make it interesting. Can't we have a pop-up backdrop where we can have a message written or modal? Request received. Yeah, this is another one from Abra. Your request has been submitted. Request received. So request received will be something for HR, but your request has been submitted. Uh, will be for the staff. So I think your request has been submitted is a nice one. So Monday is even saying what is there is okay. Yeah, the request has successfully been made. Yes, I think this also sync with what Sylvester is saying. So let's try this now so that we can see what will happen. So now you will pay attention to this part where I'm hovering on, just below the name of our app. That's where you will see the notification. So I'll just change few things. So this is another stuff. Let me change this to Ben Stones. Then Ben Stones is let's assume Ben Stones is just a female. She works with the finance team. Our own leave will be happening next tomorrow from August, and then end date will be August 30th. Then a vacation will be, let's say, part maternal. So Benstones she's due for delivery. I'm due for delivery. That's why she's going on a maternal leave. So let's change this from Benstones to Sarah Stone. So Sarah is a female, remember. And then we'll change our staff ID now to Sarah. We can just put SAR. So we're putting like I told you that the ID is always a combination of text and number. So we'll put SARO2. I mean, she's the second staff in the company. So she can also attach a file, maybe from the hospital, and then we'll click on submit. So look at this now. Can you see this notification at the top part? A request has successfully been made. So this allows you to actually know that your stuff has submitted, unlike what happened before that we don't even know when it's submitted. Yeah, we did not know when it's submitted. So when you refresh your SharePoint list, you get your response at the back. So this even allow HR to also become a data analyst. Remember I told you that from here you can generate your Power BI visualization straight up. So at the end of the month, the HR can always visualize the dashboard to know how many people went on leave, how many people went on casual leave, how many people went on vacation, how many people went on sick leave. You get to generate your report from SharePoint. Yes, it start nice. Start nice. And as an HR, you can also use Power Automate here to set a reminder that reminds me when this particular staff leave is getting due. I mean the end date. Remind me so that I can know. Then I can send that a note that I hope you are packing your bags from your vacation because it's almost time. You can do all this thing, all these interesting things. So now we've delivered on two screens, our homepage, and then the staff request. The next thing to work on is our touch screen, which is the HR side. Like I said, we may not be able to complete the app today. Yeah, we may not be able to complete the app today. So the what we have next now is the touch screen. And let's see what we can do. We bring our edit form in. Yeah, we bring our edit form in. So quickly, I just bring my edit form in. So for the HR side, we are going to be using what we call the gallery. But before that, so for the edit form side for the HR, we need the full name, the start date, the end date, the department, the leave request, the description, then the attachment. We will remove the attachment because you don't need to see the attachment here. The attachment can even be sent to your mail. You can do an automation that will send the attachment to your mail directly. You can do that as an HR. Even all these requests is coming to your mail. Yeah. So you can also do an automation that once something drops in the SharePoint, it should trigger a mail to your HR mail. Yeah, I think we should even be able to do that tomorrow. We'll try something like that. So I removed the attachment, but the approval status is it is very important here because this is the playground for the HR. So I bring in my title also. My title did not come automatically here also. It's not showing automatically. So let me bring the title. Remember the title is the staff ID. And then I also need to rearrange this. Full name. The title should be the first, followed by the full name, followed by the full name, followed by the gender, followed by the department, then the start date, end date, then the leave request. Yeah. So let's see what we have now. Perfecto. So I will try to squeeze this in because we will be bringing in our gallery. Yeah. Let me see if I can still squeeze it in. But I think this is perfect. Yeah, I think this is nice. This is nice. Let's play with this. So this is 12:56 already. Our time is fast spent, and I'll just be introducing us to gallery, and then we'll call it a day. So now to make this is not live, you can see that it's not live. To make it live, we'll do the usual. Tap on the edit form. So we're now on screen 3. Tap on the form 2. So everything is highlighted. We'll come here, go to item, and then we'll do our default, same data source. Then once you click here, you will see that we are now live. So what we're bringing next is what we call the gallery. So gallery is like the detail screen when you're automatically generating your app. So I'm picking the vertical gallery. So we have different types of gallery actually. We have different types of gallery. Let me zoom this out so that we can see. So let me first do this. So once you type gallery helps you to display. It's just like how the name implies, gallery. It helps you to display what you have in your SharePoint. So we have the vertical gallery, we have the horizontal gallery, we have the flexible gallery. You have the blank vertical gallery, you have the blank horizontal gallery, blank flexible gallery. So this is gallery. So let me see the chat for any question. Please, can I have the attendance? Can it be shown on the face of the app? Yes, what can it be shown on the okay, let's just continue, then I will take questions after. So this is a gallery. Let me zoom. Yeah, so this is a gallery. So for you to also link your gallery, you link it to your data source, just like you link your edit form. Once you do this, your gallery gets filled. Can you see this? So gallery shows so let me zoom in. So gallery shows it shows you what is happening inside your SharePoint. And if we've actually put a particular column where we imputed the image of all the staffs, then it's going to show here. It's going to show here. Yeah, it's going to show here. But because we did not add that column for pictures, so I'm just going to take this out. And then I will add one more thing to this gallery here. Can you see this? So this is this is the This is the layout. I see where I'm scrolling on. This is the layout. So you can have just one blank thing, or you can have a title, or you can have a title and subtitle. What we are currently having is title and subtitle, like two things. So if we want to have another thing added to this, then we'll pick three. So it will randomly pick another third thing for us. Let me see. Okay. Oh, it did not pick the third thing for us, but we can come here to select. Let me see. Image title and body selected. Okay, so it picked full name and then the start date. And then for the body, let's pick staff ID. Yeah. Can you see what I just did there? So this let me go over the process again. In this layout, this is where you get to see what is happening in the gallery. I mean, what you can view in the gallery. Automatically, when I created the gallery, it added image, the full name, and then the date, and then the date. Yeah, those are the three things it gave me. But because we don't have a column for images, so I removed the image field. But I needed to add a third thing so that I can have a feel of what is happening. So all you need to do is to come to this field, seven selected. Once you tap it, it will bring this data for you, that what do you want to show. So you can see this now, that we have full name, which is the title two, the first one here. We have the second thing, the start date. So it's showing start date, but well, I think we should even let's change the start date to um let's change it to department. Department is a good thing to be viewing, yeah. And then this is the title, like the staff ID. Yeah, so it is showing us those three things. So the interesting thing about this, we'll see it now. Uh, let's button this. The technical delivery also. Let's put in everything. Both. Yeah. So I change this to, I need to unlock all my fields. Unlock, 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 unlock. So I'm trying to unlock all my fields. So for this approval status, so even so this is even what I'm saying. So in this sense, we don't even need to unlock all these fields, but we're going to be discussing about this tomorrow. And the reason why we don't need to unlock it is because this is the HR playground. No staff should be able to come to this particular screen and be able to change their input. In fact, not even the staff only, even the HR should not be able to tamper with details that we have here. I mean, what authority will you have to be able to change someone's full name from what we have from the SharePoint? So that's the whole idea. So tomorrow I'll be showing you how to log all these fields such that nobody will be able to edit what I'm editing right now. I mean, even the field. This is what I'm trying to say. These particular fields are open now. They are open. Everything is open. But nobody should be able to tamper with all these things. The only thing the HR should be able to do here is to be able to tap, okay, this particular request is granted. This particular request is not granted. Yeah, so we are going to be locking all this. So we'll do that tomorrow. But let me quickly change the font of all those things and then we'll call it a day because our time is fast spent already. So look at the interesting thing about this part of the app. Let me click on our gallery. I'll try to bring the gallery down a bit. Bring it down. And then my edit form also. Let me first do this and then I bring it down so that I can add so I can add this label. So the name of the this page is name of this page is the HR leave tracker. HR leave tracker. Remember that we've concluded that we are going to be using white font. Let's first do our blue color background and white font. So we change this to 25 and then we'll bold in this. And then another thing we need to do is the alignment. Let's put this at the middle. So we also need two things. We need two more buttons. Who wants to tell me what two buttons do we need here? Let's see how our app is even looking. Let's save. Let's see how it is coming. Yeah. So we need two buttons. Who wants to tell me what two buttons do we need? Let me go through my chart. The back button and the submit button. Thank you. So I bring my home button again. And then I bring my submit button. So for the home button, we tell it to navigate to screen one. That's the home page. And then for the submit button, so the submit button is meant to update. It's meant to update. So this is the idea of the submit button. The idea of the submit button is that by the time the staff makes the request, then it's going to notify the HR that a request has been made. And then the HR will come to the SharePoint. We can make the HR to see the details of the request that has been made. So the HR can also come to the SharePoint to see the details. And then the HR can now come to this app here and either click, oh, should it be granted? Should it not be granted? Should it be pending? Should it not be pending? And once he or she makes the the decision here and then she clicks on submit, then the staff should be able to get that response. And then the details of the final decision will also come into this SharePoint under the approval. Granted, not granted, pending. Granted, not granted, pending. So everything here will be updated. So that's the idea, and that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So let me just show you what is happening now. Yeah, let me show you what is happening now. So this particular, can you see our gallery? So our gallery comes with a button. Can see this button? It's looking very small, but it's actually big. Let me see if I can increase the. Let's change the color to let's change the color to this so that it becomes visible. Change the color to this. So this is the gallery. So this is like our go-to, or it's not even like our go-to. Let's see this is what it will do. Once you click this, oh, I need to change, I need to write some formulas. I need to write some formulas. I need to write some formula. Okay, I think we'll just continue from here tomorrow. So the whole idea is that by the time the HR clicks this, everything here fills into this box. If you remember what is it called now? The boutique app that I demoed. By the time the by the time the customer wants to check out, if you remember, by the time the customer wants to check out, you will know that the customer will select on the product and then it will fill into a particular field. It will fill into the field, and then when the customer clicks on make payment, it goes into the SharePoint. So that's what we're also going to be doing on this page, such that when the HR clicks on this particular staff, all the details for the staff comes inside here. If I'm picking for Sarah, every detail will come here. And then I can also scroll. I can scroll down to see the leave request. And the HR should even be able to also filter this gallery based on the date from date. Oh, from like January to May, from February to March. That's why we're having the start date and the end date. So all requests that comes in from start date to end date, the HR should also be able to filter. So these are the cool things that we're going to be integrating into this app. So this is where we're going to be stopping for today, and I hope we've learned a new thing. So we'll continue from here, but you can see that there are some few things that is displaying already in our gallery, and then so let's just play around. So once we go here, once we click here, we go, oh, we've not done this, so we need to make our leaf tracker. The button should navigate to screen 3. Should navigate to screen 3. Yeah, navigate to screen 3. Oh, I wrote that I didn't get the spelling correctly. Navigate to screen 3. Yeah, so this is good. So look at this now. Staff request. Once you are submitting, you get the notification, you come to leave tracker, it brings you here. Once you tap the home button, so you can actually scroll this. By the time we had more stars, you'll be able to this gallery will be scrollable. I mean, you'll be able to scroll up, scroll down, and we have different type of scrolling that you can do. We are going to be seeing all this tomorrow. We're going to be seeing all this tomorrow. So our app is coming out well, and I hope we've learned a new thing today. I hope we've learned a new today. So very quickly in the next 5 minutes, I'll be going through the charts to read questions. I know a lot has been said today. A lot has been said today. Yeah, and yeah, this is just 2 hours class, a lot, and so there's a need for you to always rewatch this video if you missed any part. So let me go through the chat to read questions. Uh, Maybe we had wait for your response from HR. Okay, yeah, that's another fantastic thing we can add. Thank you for submitting. Wait for the response. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So is there any way to catch staff ID error? Like, let's say there's a mistake in the staff ID. Maybe the staff made a mistake. So yes, another thing is that we can, okay, it doesn't work for this actually. Okay, this is it. Another thing is we can have the staff ID part pre-filled. And that is the part where I was talking about. You can create your Excel outside these power apps, and then you upload the workbook into SharePoint such that you will have a list of all your staff as a SharePoint list. You have their name, you have their staff ID, and then you now view it also like a form. So that particular field will be auto-filled already. So with that, there won't be any mistake. But this, our app now, it's allowing the staff to be able to type their ID. And as a staff, it will be unfair for you to actually make a mistake with your ID. I mean, why will you forget your ID? So that also, can we restrict the attachment based on the type of, like if it's another, no need for attachment, but for sick? Yeah. No, we may not really be able to do that because everything is actually boxed together in the attachment. So there's no way you can really specify, or you don't want to give an attachment for this type of review only. Thank you so much, Chidima, for your help again today. Chidima has kept the chat engaging. I think Chidima deserves a round of applause and our favorite emojis in the chat. Thank you so much, Chidima. Kindly check the date for Cohort 5 implement the attendance link. It is not correct. Okay, we'll look into that. Yeah, so is there a way to catch? Okay, so I've replied to your question, Hato. The day I get rid of this app, people will die. Oh no, no. Please, precious. Oh, Enoch is a vigilante. So Enoch saw the mistake I was doing before. Yeah, Enoch saw the mistake. So I wanted to write navigate, but I wrote navigate. So I've written that again. Yeah. So Sylvester, thank you. I sure learned a lot today. Thank you so much, Monday. Yeah, thank you for being part of. Yeah, thank you. Let me say, yeah, thank you so much, Staff. Thank you so much, Joshua. Thank you everyone for being on the call. It's been 2 hours of intensive learning, and like I said, there's a lot to take in a few hours. So there's a need for you to always reward the video if you miss any part. Thank you. Did not change the button in screen 3 to submit. Thank you so much, Amarachi, uh for pointing that out. I'll quickly do that now. Is there a particular number of screen one need to reach as a limit? Not really. I don't think there is a limit. I mean, you can always you create link as much as you need. So after designing it, how do we give it to clients? So that's the part where you share your app. So I talked about this in the morning that the app management itself is a whole lot. I mean, it's a whole lot of developing the app. This thing that I'm scrolling on is the share. So you can share apps to people outside your company. And you can also make apps available for people in your company. I mean, the reason why this Power Platform is actually like this is it's always meant for companies. That's why I said if you can master these skills, you can get recruited to be a Power Platform developer for companies, big companies that want to automate their manual routine. I mean, for some companies, the HR do a lot of work managing all these leave tracking thing. People will just request from you, but they don't know that the bulk of work falls on the HR to do. Managing, oh, when is this person coming back? When is this one going? Should we approve this one? But everything is just in one environment like this. They start make their request here. The HR get the notification in his or her mail. The HR can even pass recommendation to the management that this particular person is going on a leave. Should we approve it? All those things can be done on Power Apps because you can link this to your Automate. You can link Automate to your Outlook. Things are connected here. Yeah, things are connected. So I'm changing the button now. Thank you so much, Amarachi, for that for pointing that out. So things that content makes life easy, and that's why you will see in the mail that we send to everybody. Are you an individual that is passionate about making things easy for you? And is very passionate about automating your manual routines, then this is something you will need to learn. I mean, it's a fantastic thing to learn. Thank you so much, Ajayi. Excellent presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, for your kind words. Now, I hereby request your assistance concerning the license. So requesting the license, it's just dicey. It's dicey. It cannot be made for banks using. Of course, it can be made for banks. It can be made for banks. It can be made for everyone. Everybody, people use this. And Power Hub used to make a bank app. Oh, you may no. You cannot use it for a bank app. I mean, a bank app is actually bogus. Yeah, bogus in the sense that it's actually uh look fragile. Yes, you can also say fragile because it's a bank app. It's too big to be done on a platform like this. Like I said, these particular things are mostly used for organizations. Let's just do our thing within. Let's manage our manual routines within. Let admin be able to get apps that will work for them. Let finance get things that can make staff make requests very easy. So it's just like that. But you can also build something for external clients. Yeah, you can do that. Oh, so Amarachi is asking, is automation part of this training? Yes. Tomorrow and Friday, we should do a bit on automation. Yeah, we should do few things on automation. We'll automate a process tomorrow for the HR to receive all these requests in his or her mail. I mean, by the time a staff clicks on submit, the HR will get the notification in his or her mail. Yeah, we'll do an automation tomorrow. We'll do an automation tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. This is a very good time to call it a day. This is a very good time to call it a day. Remember that you can always fall back on the recording once we end this session, and don't forget to share this learning experience with your friends and family. I mean, yeah, it's very good that they also benefit. So invite everybody tomorrow. They can still catch up, share the links of the previous recording with them for them to also learn. Thank you so much, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye for now. Bye, everyone.